So once you are done with the skimming, you actually reach these keywords, the keywords that are available in your passage. So let's find out these keywords together. I have already collected these keywords and written these words here. So you see how I have found out. I hope that you must have spent quite a few seconds in finding out these words. So let's take a look. For example, some plastics behave similar way, melt, heat, molded, and uniforms. These are the basic keywords that are available in the question. So what I'm doing is skimming, keeping these all key points in my mind, all right? So I'm finding out these words here. Do I get any? No, not yet. See, you just need to observe that I'm not reading at all, right? What I'm doing is I'm just finding out these words or their similar meaning words, all right? Or their concepts, you might say. Okay, plastics. I find plastic, but sentence here comes to end. So I move on to the next line or the next paragraph, whatever it is. So you see here, it says plastic, mold. All right, I got two words, but here comes again full stop in the line. I mean, the sentence changes. Some plastics, fine. Right, I got it. Moving on. Did I get any other keyword? Not yet. Right, some plastic. All right, some thermoplastic, some plastic, kind of same thing. Like, like means similar way. Yeah, isn't it? Like means similar way. Yeah, perfect. And then there's one word, candle wax, and then it says they melt when heated. All right, melt, heat, heated, fine, and can then be reshaped. All right, fine. You see that then reshaped means it is something what? Molded into new forms. So you see that I have already found out these keywords that are available on your screen, and I am matching these words in front of you. So you see the sentence is actually starting from here, all right, and ending, just a moment. Yeah, there you go. So sentence is actually starting here and ending here. And the keywords that I have underlined here are mostly available in this sentence. So what I have to do is I just have to understand now the sentence, the question mainly, which is written over here. Some plastics behave in a similar way to dash, and that they melt under heat and can be molded into new forms. Full stop, right? So I come over here, it says some plastic, some are thermoplastics, okay? And it says, which means that like candle wax. Okay, so basically, you see over here, behave in a similar way to dash, like candle wax. So candle wax is something that's not written over here, plus candle wax is the word which is next to similar way, which is next to like, which has got the same meaning, right? And this is only the word which is, if I put over here, it gives me the complete meaning of the sentence. You see, some plastics behave in a similar way to candle wax in that they melt in the heat and can be molded into new forms. So you see, that's how actually examiner gives us the clue with the help of the keywords that are available there. All right, let's move on to the next step. The next step is scanning. All right, in scanning, what we do, we read the mark text. All right, we just read the mark text. Similarly, we have done in the previous, previous slide. You see that I just read through the mark text, these two lines only, right? So this is basically called what? Scanning, right? I have to do more analysis on the question as well as on that particular text. So scanning is more of reading those particular 2 to 3 lines that are available there and which you believe there will be more and more, answers or more and more keywords actually, and you will definitely get the answers over there. So this is something what you have to do in scanning. You will be reading the whole question, right? Trying to understand, try to get the hang of it, and then try to grab the answer from those marked lines. So mainly in skimming, what we do is like we try to find out those 2 to 3 lines out of those, let's say 100 lines. We find out those 2 to 3 lines, in which maximum keywords exist. And then in the step of scanning, we just try to read through those 2 to 3 lines and we do not read anything else. I hope it's clear. Let's move on to the next step, right? Okay, so now we have got a full, half a full passage, and these are the more questions. Now, what I want is I want you to move on to the next question. The next question is starting from here and ending here. It says bakelite, unique, all right, first material, both, entirely, origin, thermosetting. So I have got most of the keywords available here in this line, and I can figure out or find these are the keywords, and I have to find out these words here. Now, a very important tip over here, which is extremely, essential to remember. You see, the question type is complete the summary. So examiner says, whenever I'm giving you a summary type question, you will get the other answer right after the first answer. So for example, you get the first answer over here, the second answer or the next answer you will get afterwards, all right, not before this. You will get it after this answer. So for example, the answer was done till here. So what I have to do, I should be reading or skimming through the text after this full stop, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out these keywords: bakelite, unique, first material, both, entirely, origin, thermosetting. You might be observing one thing, that I'm again and again trying to figure out these keywords in my mind. I'm trying to remember these keywords in my mind. That's extremely important thing, If I'm not actually reading through the keywords again and again, I will not have a clear idea in my mind, or I might forget any one of them. So I should keep reading, observing the keywords again and again so that I'm not going to miss out any single one of them. Okay, let's start skimming through from here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, over here, bakelite. I see bakelite. Then unique first material, okay. Distinction. Distinction means unique. Yep, it's absolutely right. And then it says of being the first is there, all right? Totally, exactly, entirely, you see? Totally, entirely, okay, synthetic, and then thermosetting. Thermosetting is already there. So if you see, now I get these 2 lines over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the scanning. I will move on to the question. I will try to understand the question. Bakelite was unique because it was the first material to be both entirely dash in origin and thermosetting. Bakelite had the distinction of being the first totally synthetic. All right, entirely dash, totally dash, totally synthetic. So basically the word synthetic becomes my answer, and there you go. This is the right answer. All right. So that's how we actually mix and match these keywords with the words available in the passage, and we try to figure out our final answer. Let's do the third question together. Third question says several reasons, research, plastic, 19th century, great advances, field of, alternative, natural resources, ivory. Okay, I have jotted down these are keywords, and now I'm going to look for them. So obviously I got the second answer till here. So I'm not going to go back to the previous first paragraph or the second paragraph. I'm going to go forward. All right. So I'll take a look at the next line. That is starting a new paragraph, number 3. So I started skimming through. Mid-19th century means 19th century. It's kind of same thing, right? 19th century and mid-19th century. Okay. Development. Okay, let me just take a look at the keywords again. 19th century, great advances, field of, natural resources, ivory, alternative. Okay, move on to the passage. You see very quickly, I'm again and again looking at the keywords. Immense technological progress. Immense technological progress, it's basically the substitute of great advances. Yes, it is giving somehow the same meaning. Immense technological progress means great advances. All right, field of, natural resources, alternative ivory. Field of, domain of, in the domain of, right? So this is domain of, it's basically something what? Called field of. And there's only one field written over here in the domain of chemistry. Let me figure out other keywords. Other keyword, okay, one keyword ivory is over there, which is at the end of the paragraph, which means the answer lies within this paragraph. Okay, so basically in this whole paragraph the answer is chemistry. Why? Because this is only the field that is written in this whole paragraph and maximum keywords exist over here. So chemistry is going to be the answer, and that is the perfect answer. I hope it's clear. I'm moving on to the next part of the lecture. Okay, the next step is basically transferring your answers to the answer sheet. When it comes to the paper-based test takers, they are always worried about transferring these answers to the answer sheet. Sometimes candidates actually, they try to transfer answers question by question, section by section, or at the end of the test. So we'll be discussing technically how we actually have to, or what is the recommendation to transfer these all answers to the answer sheet. So let's take a look. When should I transfer the answers? In case of computer delivered exam, there will be no need to transfer these answers. All right. So if you are going for the computer delivered exam, you are not supposed to transfer any of the answer, because the things that you are typing in on your screen, that's completely done, and you don't have to transfer answers anywhere else. However, in the case of paper based, yes, it is highly recommended to transfer all the answers section by section. Once you are done with section 1, you will transfer all the answers to the answer sheet. Once you're done with section 2, you will transfer all the answers to the answer sheet. And once you are done with section 3, you will transfer all the answers to the answer sheet. So why is that so? I mean, what is the technical point of view that you are saying section by section? Basically, if, for example, you try to transfer all the answers at the end of 60 minutes or at the end of the whole reading, which you, may God forbid, you actually are quite late in transferring the answers. However, you have done all of them, you have solved all the questions on your question paper, but you have not transferred them on your answer sheet, you tend to get zero. You're not going to get any better score in your reading, because the answers are checked with respect to the answer sheet, not from the question paper. So no matter no matter whatever you have done, however you have done on your question paper, but if you have not written anything on your answer sheet, you will not get any mark, any band score. So it's extremely important to transfer the answers to the answer sheet section by section, so that you are being on a safe side. I hope it's clear. The next important thing while transferring the answer is use sentence case to write the answers. Sentence case means use the normal language punctuation style, or the normal case, which is basically the first letter of the sentence is capital and rest of the letters are small, right? So this is something what the sentence case, right? If you don't understand, you can ask me individually and I will definitely explain you what is a sentence case, which means that you are not supposed to write all the answers in capital or all in a small. No, nothing like that. You have to write in sentence case. The next important thing is there will be no extra time to transfer these answers to the answer sheet. In case of computer delivered exam, as soon as you are done with 60 minutes time, the screen will get locked. However, in the case of paper-based exam, as soon as 60 minutes are over, the invigilators, they will come and take your answer sheets back. So it's extremely important to transfer these answers within 60 minutes time in case of paper-based. Short forms are not allowed at all, some candidates actually write the short forms in the question paper, in the answer sheet. So you're not supposed to write any kind of short forms. Never ever write short forms, especially when candidates are writing the answers of true, false, not given. So what they do is, like, they sometimes try to write the short forms so that they are super quick, like T for true, F for false, and not given for NG, right? NG for not given. So this is something what you're not supposed to do. The next thing is spelling mistakes. Spelling mistakes are not forgiven, because obviously it's a reading test and the answers are right in front of you, right, in the reading passage. So examiner is not going to forgive any kind of a spelling mistake. He will see your spellings, he will check your spellings, and you're supposed to write exact correct spellings. That's extremely important thing. No singular plural mistakes. You're not supposed to make any kind of singular plural mistakes. For example, the answer in the passage is cars. So you are not supposed to write car only without S. You will be writing S over there. For example, if the answer is a better job, so you will be writing a better job, nothing else. All right. So this is something what you have to take care of. You don't have to make any kind of singular plural mistakes. No article mistakes is, for example, A, N, or D. You sometimes make these mistake in case of articles. So you're not supposed to make any kind of mistake in case of articles, right? That's extremely important thing. Oh yeah, a very important thing in which usually candidates make mistake of: true, false, not given versus yes, no, not given. What happens is sometimes examiner asks true, false, not given, and what they do, they reply or they answer them in the form of yes, no, not given. However, sometimes what candidates do, they are asked to write yes, no, not. They are asked to answer in the form of yes, no, not given, and they sometimes give the answer of in the form of true, false, not given. So this is something what extremely important to understand and remember, that you're not going to make any kind of such mistake, otherwise you will be penalized. I hope that you must have understood all the things, and in case of any confusion you can ask directly to me.